All right. Think I got it going. Pause. No. I'm very new to this. This is terrible. This is so
Me.
amateurish. Oh, there's feedback.
Oh no,
I
I
didn't know
don't hear
that.
it.
All right. Well, I have a guest, and her name is, I don't know how to say your last name, Mia Ferrer? Crap.
Ferrer.
Ferrer. Oh, that
Yeah,
sounds French. La di
it's
da.
Cuban. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
excuse me. My bad.
We're
That's cool.
close, I guess.
Yeah, that's not even close. That was across
I
the board.
was
That's
trying to help
cool.
you with
That is
that.
cool. Cuban, huh? Well, you are Latin, so I guess
Mhm.
that makes sense. All right.
True.
So we're gonna start out. What was your background? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up here in North Texas, and
Really?
yeah. Hmm.
I thought it was gonna be something exotic or someplace.
Nope.
What?
My dad's from Cuba. He came here. He came here to the U.S. when he was like 8 years old, and then fast forward, he met my mom in Florida, in Miami. He lived in Miami. Met my mom in Florida, and then she moved back here to Texas and went to UNT, and he like followed her. He like just stalked her here to Texas because he's
Oh.
just like got obsessed with her, and then they both went to UNT and got stuck here. I guess I was born in Denton.
Oh.
I just got
Wow.
stuck here.
Have you ever lived outside of Texas?
No, well, I guess if you consider my kind of backpacking around, just kind of
So you did the Euro trip thing,
bucking
kind of?
around. Well, no, just like the West Coast.
How was
Just
that?
I left the country twice.
Got the
Uh,
passport. All right.
like I went to Mexico, hung out there for a minute, realized that's kind of dangerous what I was doing.
What was the time frame in Mexico? What was that?
Uh, like a week, and I was not being. It was not. I had no chill about it.
No, but I meant like the year, like, because I mean,
Oh,
Mexico's been.
it was 2003, 2002, halfway through 2002.
I don't
I
remember
was
anything about Mexico in that
16.
time. Cause
It was okay. You could
hmm,
actually walk over the border with your ID, your US ID.
I don't remember. I think when did the cartel start kicking up there? Around 2015, 2016, maybe.
Probably,
Don't
yeah.
don't fact check me. I'm just
I think it
guessing.
was like got pretty bad, but that's why you can't do that anymore. Just
Yeah, that's what I
walk
was saying.
right
Like, cause
over.
that's why I asked the time frame because I know, yeah, the cartel.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, my dad worked whenever I was younger. He worked in Mexico City. He kind of co-owned a software company. So we spent several months in Mexico City. When we were like kids, my brother and I, and it was it's like dangerous there. Like every other 3 blocks, there's it's like really nice and ritzy, and then you get like a block or two
The
of
barrio.
people living in boxes and
Yeah.
just stray dogs everywhere. It's like the saddest thing. I remember I was like 8 years old and I had the very first experience of like deep compassion, like painful compassion, when I encountered this like boy like my age, and they were begging for money outside of this beautiful cathedral. My abuela was in town there visiting us, and we went in there, and it's this beautiful, like the windows are amazing, and I was just kind of running around there, exploring this thing, and we come out, and I see this boy, and his mom was sitting like kind of against this wall over, that's 15 feet away. And he comes to me and he's like asking for money. And my grandmother she comes over to me and she hands me like a handful of pesos and like she's like, give
Juanita.
it to him. Yeah, she's like, give it to him. And I was like, just like dumbstruck looking into this little boy's eyes. Like I was just, I thought like this little boy could be me. You know what
Like
I
you had
mean?
no idea of class structure and just different people of different circumstances at that time.
Right, right. I was like, I saw his circumstance and I was like, we're the same, you know, like he's my age, you know, we are standing like eye to eye, same height, and like it just like struck me in this like heart level, and I was like, he's asking me for like something, and I can give it to him, you know, and that was like, I'll never forget that. It was so, it burned into my mind.
Did that
And
make you kind of like give your first taste of activism, like your activist spirit? Like I want to help
yeah,
humanity and all that stuff.
yeah. Oh my God. It was like such an experience. I wouldn't say like walking in that cathedral and I felt like I had the spiritual experience or whatever. I'm not in any way like Christian or Catholic. We were not raised Catholic at all. I wasn't even like
What, the
christened or
Latina, not
anything.
raised Catholic? Oh my
No,
God.
I know, right? Like
Oh my
my
God.
dad's like, I'm gonna spare you that shit. I'm actually a Buddhist. But like
Ah.
nobody raised me anything. They're like, you know what? Go figure that shit out yourself. We're not gonna do that to you. You know, I'm sure you have enough shame. There's enough shame out there. Get it, whatever. So I was like 15 and I was like, you know what? What's this Buddhism shit about? Like I went and explored that. I swear meditation like saved my life.
So
Like
you've been practicing Buddhist since you were 15?
yeah, I just started meditating because, you know, being 15 is really hard. I don't know if you've
Adolescence.
had that experience when you were 15. It's so hard.
Well, like
Sucks.
everybody has different experiences at 15. Like what was particularly hard about your 15-year-old experience?
Uh, well, I had quite a bit of traumatic experiences,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's you know, everybody's trauma exists on like some sort of spectrum. So you know, trauma is trauma. You know, there's not like
What
a
made yours stand out where you sought to take out like I said meditation. Wow, I can't even talk.
well, I had to do that too eventually. Medication, you know, just like
Pill
same
Nation,
zip,
baby, Pill
right?
Nation.
Hey, you know what? Medication, meditate. I'm highly meditated. I'm a little
Medicated, meditated,
meditative,
right?
whatever, medicated, but it's the same. But I don't know. I just kind of like just all that shit going through your head and like, you know, invasive thoughts. It's like I need to like find a way to slow that shit down and just like in the present moment because nothing bad is happening to me right now. You
Well,
know.
you seem pretty like a laid back person from your persona right now that I'm getting from you. So I
Uh,
imagine maybe were you bullied when you were like a teenager or something like that? Because maybe
you
people
know,
picked you out.
when I was a teenager, it didn't bug me anymore. You know, I didn't give a shit. I was like, I don't care what you think. Like, you
Just
know.
being rebellious, I guess.
Well, it was kind of funny. Like, I I really didn't. I was like, you know what? It's the worst. If the worst thing that is happening is like some teenagers don't like think I look like a lesbian or like don't like my armpit hair. I don't give a fuck. They've got
You're rocking armpit hair. Okay.
yeah. I've never been an armpit shaver. I don't give a shit.
Ah, well, I mean
Like,
that's a lifestyle.
yeah,
I
I mean
mean,
I
no
don't think it's
judgments
a
from me.
lifestyle. I mean, damn, do you shave your armpits?
Uh, yeah,
You shave your armpits.
I manscape.
Do you
Full,
shave
full disclosure.
your face, your armpit? You shave your legs too?
No, I haven't shaved my legs, but I don't have a lot of leg hair though.
That's so lucky.
But I mean, I'm not judging. I mean, some
I shave my
people
legs.
like hairy legs and armpits, and some
Man,
now the new generation, they're growing goatees and sideburns and mustaches, and
I was working on my beard during this pandemic.
yeah.
And I got one. It's like a Latino thing.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Now
get a little.
I imagine it's got to be a little annoying because I'm pretty sure you get hit on by a lot of guys, and you're like, sorry.
Yeah,
No
I'm
bueno.
like, no thanks. You know what I do? This is like the best like killer of a mood. I'll be like, I was just reading this book about like cannibalism, and I was like wondering, just which one of your best friends would you eat, and like what part of their body would you eat first? Because like you look like I would just like eat your face. Maybe probably like your arm first. And then if they go along with it, no, it's like
turn some guys on. Just letting you know.
No, and then I would be like, have you ever eaten a person before? Like I get real creepy about it. Like just straight face. It has never not worked. I just make them real uncomfortable. They're making me uncomfortable. I don't give a shit. I don't do that like weird like giggle thing where they're like you're like
I would just say not interested, bro, or not wrong team.
I've done that before too. Well, hey, that shit doesn't work. I feel like, listen, I'm queer and I don't give a fuck about you. They're like, oh, let me try harder. You just haven't met the right guy.
What now? What's the difference between lesbian and queer?
Interesting. You would ask that.
I don't know.
So I'm not interested in cisgender men. So that means that I have dated trans men.
What is a cisgender man? What is that?
A man who's assigned gender at birth is male. So not a trans man. So you're born with a penis.
So a straight guy?
No, like a man that when you're born, they're like, this is a boy. But a trans man is a man that was assigned female at birth.
Yeah, I know what a trans a person or a man or woman is, but I was like, cis. What is like? I'm thinking like a
cis means CIS. Okay, so it means like I think it's like same. It means like same. I don't know what the origin of that word is. So I'm not gonna lie to you.
I've always just said straight guy, straight girl.
Hey, like trans men can be straight.
Yeah,
they're men who date women.
Yeah, that's your preference. Wait, what does it? I don't want to get convoluted. So, if I was a trans man and I dated women, I'm still considered straight, not lesbian, because I am a man.
Yeah, you're a man who's dating a woman.
Okay.
And you're a man, right? Aren't you a man who dates women? Are you a straight man?
Yeah, that's my handle.
Okay, so if you're a trans man who dates only women, then you're a straight man.
Okay.
Right?
Is that like a clear definition, or does it get mixed up? Because what if you're like pre-op or something, or what if you only? I mean, do you date just biological women, or do you date trans women? I mean,
I think you would just have to ask like each individual, because like, as far as I know from like just the people that I know, that's the case for them, that they're like, I'm a straight man because I date only women, but it like varies based on the individual. Well, you know what I mean?
I have a question.
So far, that's what I know.
Because I like to deep dive. That's what this channel's about. getting into the subcultures of things. So could I be considered straight if I only dated trans women?
No, I mean, no. You could be considered pansexual, or you could be considered straight. Wait,
what?
It depends on how you want to identify yourself.
But see, that sounds like.
Wait, are you asking, could you only be considered straight?
Or I'm asking, would I be considered straight? Because I want to be respectful.
Oh, well, who are you asking? If you are.
I'm just saying in general, what would I be? Is it what I interpret, or is it what society is the label? Because it's like, if I, as a man, have sex with another man, to me, that's society saying that's gay. But somebody's like, no. But then it gets kind of tricky. I would think that was a homosexual man. That's what I would think. Or bi, which is still gay, but because you're bi, you like both sexes. But then it gets tricky for me, because what if I am a quote unquote biological male, but then I don't want another biological male. I want a trans male. See, that's what I'm like. Am I straight? Am I gay? Does that mean? I mean.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of whatever you want to, because like, fuck what society says, really. But I actually had this very question about my own self whenever I was like, you know what? I don't like, when I was like, you know what? I identify as a lesbian. And then I actually was like, wow, I like trans men, but not cis men. I was like 30, and I was like, it smacked me all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, I'm not bisexual. I don't want to do this thing with cis men. I don't know what's happening.
Well,
so I had this whole thing, and I'm like, I'm not bisexual. That doesn't count that way. And so I go, I think I'm just going to call it queer. And that's totally legit, and everybody accepts that.
So queer would be if I like trans men or women.
Mm-hmm. You could say queer, yeah. Okay. Or some people. So
what's Latent? What's Latent? What you say you were last time? Latinx?
I think Latinx.
Latinx. What is that?
I think Latinx is sort of like an equanimous. I have trouble with that word. It's like kind of in the Latin culture, everything is like a gendered word, mm-hmm. right?
Mm-hmm. Masculine or feminine word, yeah.
Right, and it's kind of to identify people by, like, to say like this person is a Latin woman or Latin man. It's really kind of, I don't know, sexist. Like, why don't we just all be people? To say like that person right there is this gender. It's just sort of like, what the fuck? It doesn't matter that this is a man or a woman. Why can't we just be like, there's a Latin person? It's just a Latin person. Just like the same as,
well,
that's
you're
African American.
You're idealistic like me, but I think, but we have way different views, as you know. But that's just not how the world works. I mean, it would be nice, but some things to me aren't practical. Like,
it's taking hold. It really is. Like, it's coming around, and people are really using it more.
Well, we're having a peaceful conversation, but we're on two different movements, I guess. I think you're in the LGBTQ. Mm-hmm. Is that how you say it? I'll say that, or the alphabet community, because I was like,
I call it the alphabet community too.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm a
LGBTQIA plus.
Yes, like, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, and I'm a part of the red pill community. So
red pill.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Oh, you probably would not like me if you knew what that was.
Are you like a QAnon person, or what is that?
No, QAnon. No.
Okay, good. All right.
Red pill is pretty much like men's rights, you know, men's issues, like the manosphere, where they talk about, you know, issues that pertain to men and, you know, our culture and how we need to be more accountable and hold women accountable. And yeah, so
yeah,
that's my flag.
So like regular world, the regular world.
No, not the regular world.
Where the men have the rights.
No, that's how it's
We've already had this. We've had this conversation.
I know before. You think we live in a patriarchy, and I'm like, no, we don't.
Do we live in a matriarchy though? When you say it's not a matriarchy.
Well, let's just look at the media control. Let's just look at, you know, how things are perceived, because I mean, like, you know, we could, like your instance of a homeless person, right? You know, you were a child, but if you look at the average homeless man, are they going to get sympathy like they would a woman or children? No, like a woman's shelter. I mean, what is there, like one? I think one in the whole United States. I think maybe one's in Phoenix. Don't quote me on that. I have to look that up. But I think there's like one men's shelter in all of the United States. And let's not talk about
men's shelter.
Yeah, really? Yeah. They're literally just one. And let's not even talk about like, where is there a safe space for like single fathers or just like men of domestic violence? I mean, you know, yes, women get hit too, but I'm just saying that's what the red pill community is about, like, you know, men's rights and their issues, because they get overlapped. I mean, there's dozens of shows on mainstream media with women just clapping with toxic ideas and laughing that men get played or they get their genitals chopped off or whatever. I could never go on a mainstream show and go, yeah, I chopped this woman's bits up, and all the men, the predominantly men in the audience, are like clapping. We get canceled. It'd be terrible. I mean, the only people allowed on TV are panderers, like, I don't know, Steve Harvey, you know, where they, or Dr. Phil, where they just say what a lot of women like, and and they clap, and it's like, you know, so we have to be on YouTube and Reddit and all that good stuff to just talk about men's issues in a safe space, so we don't get canceled. Because, you know, if you just speak how men speak in general, people like us talked about, that's how we speak. We call each other out on our bullshit. We don't sugarcoat it, like, hey man, you're such and such age, you need to get your shit together. Not, well, you spoke a little mean to him, and the tone. No, fuck tone. It's the truth. Get your shit together. Yeah. We hold each other accountable. Women are different. They're more emotional. We get it. But, you know, like I said before, it's not about the tone, it's the message. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm an asshole, okay, but take the message away. You don't have to like me, but it's the message. And I just wish more women would, you know, get on that subscription train and be like, okay, we should be held accountable more.
I think everyone should be held accountable. I think that men should hold each other accountable for like their behavior. I think that stop
sticking your dick in every place. Stop doing that. You know, you're responsible for that. I mean, like I said, there shouldn't be any accidental pregnancies anymore. Stop fucking all these randoms. And if you know these chicks are crazy, that's your fault if you got a fucked up baby mama because she hit your car and took your shit. Why'd you get her pregnant? What's wrong with you? Come on, bro. And at the same time, there are 30 plus different contraceptives for women before and after. Why are you getting accidentally pregnant? Because you want this. You like, let me let this rando raw dog me. Yeah, it's like let him raw dog me. Oh, I'm pregnant. Oh well, no, that's not. Oh well, that's a fucking baby. That's serious. It's not like fucking buying a car or a burqa bag. I mean, that's serious. So that's what I said. I think each camp should hold their gender accountable. And we're on the red pill. We're doing that shit to us. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
I think it really should be more socially acceptable for men to go and get vasectomies. They're reversible. And why is that not a thing that men do? Just like the same way that women go, oh yeah, I'm on the pill, whatever. Men are like, oh, I don't want to go get my stuff cut up. Women go and get their tubes tied. It's not reversible.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you want
But
to go
that's a
get your
choice, though.
tubes
I mean, I don't think
tied,
that's looked down upon. That's just a choice. But I mean,
yeah,
as you know, men control relationships and marriage, and women control sex. I can't have access to you unless you allow me to have sex with you, unless I force myself, and that's not happening like all the time. It does happen, but it's not happening all the time. So if you don't want to have sex, you have access to it. Now, if you want to get married and I don't want to, we control the marriage and relationships. Like, you know, I don't want to date with you. I just want to have sex. That's what we control. So it's like,
I don't relate because I'm always like, can we have sex now? And I'm like, oh, no, okay. Like, I feel like I take on that, you know.
Well, you being, I guess you're queer, right? Okay. You being queer, you know, I'm sure have masculine energy. So you're kind of like a female man, you know, you probably act like a man, and you're probably the man and the dominant figure in your partnership, your relationship. You're probably not the feminine one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not, even if I'm not usually the feminine one, even if you look at my partner who looks more androgynous or looks more masculine than me.
But I'm talking about persona, energy, the energy you give me, the persona you give me, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get personal, but you're like, I know who's wearing the strap on in the family. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, I try to like keep things equal.
Yeah. You know, I just had a discussion with one of my coworkers. Yeah. She was saying women and men are equal, and I was like, oh, no, we're not. And she might be a feminist like you, and that's fine. But I'm like, we're not equal. We compliment each other, but we're not equal. Yes, we're equal. I feel like you can feel the way you want, but biology and data would prove that we're not equal. Like I said, okay,
maybe we're egalitarian. Maybe there's equal, maybe there's egalitarian. It means we have these sort of qualities here. Maybe men have these sort of qualities.
You can have similar qualities because we're more alike. We're more alike personality wise and aggression wise. You know, there's obviously more. If you take 100 people, you know, there's going to be more aggressive men out of that pool. Like if you take 100 men and 100 women, there's probably going to be like maybe 75 aggressive men and maybe 25 aggressive women. That's just, we're more aggressive with testosterone, right? But I'm saying, like, I asked her name 3 things or a few things that women can do that men can't. And she just fired off. I just thought, hey, I can't have a child. That's just number one thing for me. I cannot give birth. I cannot do that. I can create life, but I cannot give birth, right? Then I asked, okay, so what can men do that women can't? And she just stood there for like literally 20, 30 seconds and was like, I said, well, that tells me right there you have a low opinion of men. You probably don't respect men and you think they're lesser than. She's like, no. I'm like, what? I said, okay, one thing about strength. And then she gave me this, what a lot of modern women do is she gave me anecdotal evidence trying to sidestep empirical data. Like, I said, women
I just thought of like 3 things right off the top of my head, and like,
yeah, well, it's just, I was like, okay, because I said, okay, one thing they can't do is they can't do prolonged strength-based hardcore labor. And she goes, that's not true. I know 2 of my friends, they're a roofer. I'm like, that's not hardcore labor. That's roofing. I'm talking about a jackhammer. I'm talking about bricklaying. I'm talking about, like, you know, being like a lumberjack, logging and stuff like that.
It's like the upper body strength.
Yes,
lung capacity.
Yeah,
like it's a testosterone offers.
And
lung capacity and upper body strength.
I was arguing against the point where I was like, listen, I know that people have argued about the pay gap. We've had discussions about that, but like I explained that before, there is a pay gap. There is, but there's reasons behind it, and I explained that before. And like I said before, you know, if it was like that, the blue collar field, a lot of stuff like, you know, welding or whatever, pipe fitting, it pays very well. And if it was like that, women would crowd it, but a lot of them don't want to do it because women are interested in more. I mean, I'm in a woman-dominated industry in nursing. I'm particularly interested in people. That's like a woman type thing or whatever. You know, now women are interested in people, and men are interested in things. That's probably why they're more engineers or whatever. And like I said before, my friend that works in he's a pipe fitter. He's like, out of 80 guys, there's probably like maybe 2 or 3 females, and they hold their own, but I mean, it's not a lot. That's what I was trying to explain to my coworker, and she was like, "No, it's the same thing." I'm like, "No, it's not. Exceptions don't make the rule. If a 40-year-old just goes off the street and goes, you know, we're gonna try for the NFL, he makes it. That doesn't mean every 40-year-old can do that. That's called an outlier. That's an exception to the rule. That's not. That doesn't mean that's the rule." I tried to explain this to her, and she was like, "No, that's not true." I'm like, "Okay, we're equal."
Yeah.
Right.
I think that women have a very important role in society. We have a good capacity for like a lot of things.
Well, you're the support system. You're important. You're the support system, and we could not further the human race without women.
Yeah.
Like I said this before, and people got like butthurt and they got offended. Like men don't need women because we can survive without you. We only need you guys to procreate. Without you, there would be no other generations, but we would live to our old age because we could survive. We're built that way. We have more endurance and everything. We're built, you know what I'm saying, our hand strength, everything else. But people, when I said that, a lot of these modern women, they've been force-fed this I'm a woman, hear me roar, and that's great, but they're like, I'm invincible. I'm like a man. Like, no, you're not. You can be fantastic, and there's a small minority group that can handle their own versus men, and some more than men, but that's not the norm. That's not the norm. Which I know, like I said before, you know, I keep it real here, and that's why you don't see, what was it, trans men destroying sports, but you see trans women destroying sports. And I'm like, I get the eye. I'm like, listen, I'm being respectful, and I say that trans women should compete against other trans women. If I was a woman, I would be fucking pissed. Like, you motherfucker. Like, I got the new weight working lift. I'm the new biking thing. Like, come on, son.
This argument about the transgender sports situation, it's sort of like, I have this this whole like, what's the alternative situation? Like, people have this whole like, oh well, they shouldn't be in sports. Well,
no, that should be in sports.
Yeah, well, so your stance on it is that we should be allowing the, you know, trans women in women's sports, trans men and male sports.
No, that's not my stance.
Okay, so
my stance is that trans athletes should compete against other trans athletes. They should definitely be in sports. But if I'm a trans female, I should compete against another trans female. There's more than one, so let me compete against another trans female, and we'll see who's the best, because it's just not fair. If you can look, I'll be PC, and I'll branch and say, okay, fine, a trans woman is a woman. Not a biological woman, but I'll say you're a woman, I'll be respectful. Fine, cool. But it's not effing fair that you have 30 years, you decide to transition when you're 30 years old, you got freaking dense bone density and all this testosterone and all this other stuff in your body. You have a freaking advantage over a woman, and you could fuck her up in sports. It is dominated, it's demoralizing.
What about these teenagers who started doing like hormone blockers, taking hormone blockers?
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that.
Well, yeah, I'm on the fence about it
because they're children. They're children. They know what the fuck they want. Like, oh, I want to shave the side of my head and put earrings in my whatever. You look, I got piercings too. I'm not tripping, but I'm saying you're experimenting. When you're 18 and you're under my roof, after that, you can do whatever fuck you. You can do the fuck you want. You can do whatever you want because you're an adult.
My thing about that is too. Yeah, it's like, there's a certain like level where, okay, like, let's not let the kids have so much bodily autonomy that we just let them go bananas with their hormones. But
it's society.
If we're talking about mental health.
But there's no boundaries. You let kids do what the fuck they want. They're fucking kids. I've seen so many kids in these generations now tell their parents, no, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up. You're a child. You're in my kingdom. I'm your parent. I say what the fuck you do.
I mean,
that's the point.
I hear that.
You're a child. You're fucking 8. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. 8 years old. I don't know.
I'm just saying, even if you're 12 or 14,
do you know
you're under
the
my house.
suicide rate of transgender kids? And at that
I
point,
bet it's high.
With the kids with that are transgender, they a hormone blocker might be akin to giving them like an antidepressant.
Yeah.
It is this different. So as soon as puberty starts coming in, this it's not just like a body thing. They're like looking at their body and going, "Oh my God, I have boobs now," or whatever, and that's not my sexual identity. It's like this puberty thing. This is my understanding of it. I'm not transgender, but my understanding of it is this puberty thing.
We got to talk about the other ones too. What about the kids who I forgot what they call, it's a word for it, but they do the transition with the hormones, and they regret it and they want to go back, but they can't.
Yeah, that's when
I forgot the name of it was, but they're called something. Fuck, I forgot. But I've seen a video with that where it's like, I want my gender back, and they're like 14, and it's like, I wish I could stop the fuck out of the parents. Like, you're a fucking idiot, and you're a terrible parent because they're a child. You know, just because the child wants something, you do what's the best thing for the child. Look, you already know how I roll because we have opposite views. I'm a straight man.
I don't know if it's opposite, but I don't think we should.
We have opposite
children.
Views. No, I'm saying we have opposite views, but at the same time, we can talk in a way where we're just like, you know what I'm saying? But if I had a child and if they were gay, I'd be like, oh man, I don't want that for my child. But if they're gay, I'm gonna love them anyway because they're my kid. So whatever, right? Yeah. But if they want to transition, I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't agree with your lifestyle, but I'm gonna support you. I'll dress you the way you want. You can act the way you want, whatever. But there's no fucking way you're getting fucking hormone replacement. When you're 18, you still feel the same way, then I will support you. But under my roof, it's not gonna fucking happen. Because what happens if I indulge your shit and then you go 4 years later, I don't want it. Well, and you know how expensive that shit is? Fuck that. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
You know, some insurance covers hormone replacement.
Yeah, but
you know, they make you go through therapy to find out if this is really something that would benefit you and with your mental health. And
I just say the modern days is so crazy. You have to go through therapy for that. It's like going, you know, I want to saw my arms off and put and get gun arms. Let's go through therapy.
I mean, I don't think
it's what?
I wouldn't relate it to that. No.
Well, I'm just saying that's how it sounds to me. Like, it's utterly ridiculous. Like, what? No.
Yeah.
If you want to make that decision because you're an adult, fine.
That thing would be ridiculous. Sawing your arms
off. Come on.
I don't think we should call it, like, we should relate it to that. But well, I mean, think about this. If your child has depression and anxiety and it's causing them to really get into a dark place, suicidal and things like that, and it just goes on and on to the point where it's troubling you, you're going to want to do something.
You know what it's called for me on my side? Being a fucking parent.
Yeah,
being a fucking parent and getting your kids, getting all up in their business and getting and seeing what the fuck's wrong with them and spending time with them and talking with them instead of going, well, let's just load you up with pills and
we wouldn't go.
They're your kids. To that. You don't fucking know them. Fucking talk to them. They should be comfortable enough to talk to you. And you know, we have
parents
society
who do that would be the ones who get. When it's beyond you, you're not a mental health specialist. When it's beyond you,
I agree with that.
You know, when you can't coach your child far enough.
But my child wouldn't be light in the ass. Pretty much, if I had kids, they wouldn't be light in the ass. I will tell you this: I would do the best, but they wouldn't be light in the ass. And I say this because a lot of people, they don't have stern shit anymore. They get deterred, like, oh no, someone said that I was unattractive, or they said this. So the fuck what? Where's your self-confidence? That to me, it's like, the parents is it still self-confidence in you? Did not still any kind of self-worth? Were you to get torn down by a fucking stranger who doesn't know you? That's what's taking you out?
Yeah, that's
really. These generations are fucking. Their paper tigers is weak. Oh, you know what? You're weak. They said that, and they fucking vie for likes and all this bullshit on social media. That like it's like a
Yeah.
superficial. Like I think you're a pretty woman, right? But even if
Thank
I don't
you.
even know you, I don't know you. It'd be like, I had a hard day. Oh, you're beautiful. What the fuck is that shit
Yeah, I don't
for?
need that shit. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's like, that doesn't do anything for
yeah,
me.
man.
Yeah,
That's
I came here whole, you know.
that's social media. That's what it is. It's a bunch of fake validations, and a lot of men, especially a lot of women, modern day women, they love that shit. They just love. They eat it up. It's
Yeah.
pathetic, and that's why the red pill community, we got to clean that shit up. You know what? If you want to be beta male or blue pill, that's fine. But we got to clean up all this simp behavior. Blue pills.
Yeah.
Oh
Blue
my god.
pills.
Oh.
The beta male.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
I
You don't know what
guess I
that
get
is.
it. It's the ones who are, I don't know, not alpha males.
Yeah.
Are we talking about
beta males are
toxic men versus non-toxic men, or what?
Well, that's a different subject too. But beta males are, I would say they're kind of toxic to themselves, because beta males are very submissive, and women love that stuff. They're very low functioning. They don't stand up for themselves. They get ran over. They don't stand up for themselves. They're willing to accept. Yeah, a lot of women love that stuff because they can control them and they can throw them away, and they'll be right there. They're right there. Simps do that. Simps.
Oh, I hate that word. It's such a derogatory word.
It is.
It's almost like,
and we use it because we want to try to deter men from that shit, because it's you do yourself a disservice. You as a man, you do yourself a disservice if you're a simp.
I just kind
of
if
you're a straight
like
female, hold on. If you're a straight female, right, and you live in Dallas and I live in Waco, now you know that's pretty far away. And how much respect would you have for me if you were like, oh man, I'm really sad and I really could use some, I don't know, a fruit plate. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'll get you one. And you're like, okay. And I show up at your house with a fruit plate. What do you think? Wow, how fucking pathetic is this guy? He drove all this way to get me a fruit plate. I don't even like him. He knows I don't like him. That's what simps do. You understand? We're trying to stop men from doing that. Don't you? You're even laughing. I'm like, wow.
Shit.
Guys do that shit? Yes. Simps do that kind of shit. Or, hey, I cleaned up your house for you. I hope you enjoy your date. What the fuck? I paid your rent for you. I've never even touched your boob or kissed you or anything, but I hope that you maybe kind of like me. Simp. Yeah, they do that.
Paid my rent for me?
Yeah.
I mean, who's this guy? I'm just kidding.
See? Told you. Look at you. You even like this. You're like, damn, I need a simp in my life. I'm telling you. Women love simps because they're there. They will. Yes. And it's bad because it deconstructs the what it is to be a man. And it puts all these.
What does it mean? I don't. The whole thing is like, why is there this box for any of that? You know,
I mean, if you know that we live in a society where everything, I know, like I said, you're idealistic like me, but I've accepted, and it's true that everything is labeled. Everything is in some sort of category. That's how we get things in order. If everything was just like willy-nilly, I could be like, you know what? I'm a dragon. Fuck you. You can't tell me I'm a human. I'm a dragon. See what I'm saying? You have to have categories. You have to.
Yeah.
Now, I know we live in a society where everything's all free and I'm this today. And it's kind of crazy. I know on your side, you gotta at least admit, okay, sometimes it's a little crazy. Like, you're trying to keep up with stuff. You're like, okay, now there's 103 sexualities. All right, you kind of got to roll your eyes. You're like, okay, guys, you're doing too much. You're doing too much because it's crazy. Like, they will cancel a trans person now. Okay, there's not enough new whatever sexuality is this week being represented, so this trans person step down. Like, come on, it's crazy. I just watch it, eat popcorn. Like, what's gonna happen next?
What's that? Yeah, you know. I guess I don't understand the people fitting in a box like this with what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman.
Well, we're going by nature.
Because I have had obviously intimate relationships with women, and there's not a sort of, you know, that male-female dichotomy or that butch femme dichotomy, which I don't buy into, but there's still
But
a
there's
balance.
there's a king and queen system, even if you're a woman. So there's got to be a king and there's got to be a queen in the relationship. And who rules? Who rules? The king rules, right? And the queen is the support system. The queen has power, but the queen does not usurp the king. See what I'm saying? It's like this. If I have a kingdom, right, and I'm the king, and my queen dies.
Is this like a chess metaphor or like a
This is
patriarchy metaphor?
No, this is a nature metaphor.
Okay.
About men, right? So my queen dies. Now I'm in charge of a kingdom. I rule over different lands and different territories or whatever, and I have courtesans and peasants alike and knights and all that good stuff, right? Now my queen is dead. I'm sad, but what should I do as a king?
I don't know. Find another queen.
No.
I don't.
You have to do your duty because you're the king. You don't have time. You don't have time to sit there and mourn and not do your duties because your queen died. It sucks, but as a man and as a king, you still have to take care of your business. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I feel like I was just thinking about Henry VIII.
No, you have to do your stuff because if you don't, your kingdom will fall. It's the same scenario as if I'm dating you and I'm up your ass all the time. I'm not going to work. I'm not taking care of my business.
First of all, I would just slap you and be like, get out of my ass.
But I'm
just saying,
shit to do. But I'm saying like that's unattractive because you're not doing your nature. You're supposed to be a protector and provider. I can't protect and provide if I'm obsessed and I'm being feminine and I'm under you and I'm admiring you all the time. I'm not taking care of my business. I'm not doing my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being the best person I can be. And I'm not progressing in life because I'm just hung up on you. So if I was a king and you and the queen died, I have to be sad. I have to suck that up, swallow it down, and go, okay, I still have to rule the kingdom because there's duties to do. I have to make sure we have to do this and this and this, so things still running smoothly. That's what a king does, what a man does. But when they don't do that, you understand what I'm saying now? When they don't do that, and you're not doing your nature, you become like this submissive person. You don't handle your business. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're the head of the family. That's why you're the structure. You have a duty. You're the protector.
See how maybe there's like that dichotomy is a common one for people. I tend to like find myself in an interdependent rather than like a dichotomy with people.
But see, you're in a same-sex relationship, so and you have masculine energy, so I can imagine from your perspective that you probably want everything to be equal, but there's still a power dynamic. There's still somebody that's more dominant and that has more say and more power than somebody else. That's what I'm saying. A female in my life is going to be my support system. She's not above me. And she's not my equal, but she's my support system. She's there to help me. And I am there to provide for her and protect her. That's how we work together. I provide and protect her and give her a lifestyle. And she is my support system. She's on my program. I'm not on her program. That's how it works.
Yeah. At the moment, like my partner is a trans man. And we have so I don't have this continual feminine energy all the time, sort of non-binary. It's not always this feminine thing. I have masculine energy too.
But here's the thing, though.
Very, just like on that spectrum of the. I feel like it exists on a spectrum.
But here's the thing. I used to believe that too, but as I got more knowledge, I realized that you are what you are. So it's not something you can turn on and turn off. If you are an a-hole and that's your personality, you can change it where you're not an a-hole over time, but it's not something you can turn on and off because that's who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a thief, you can't be like, oh, I'm not gonna steal. That's what you are. You're a thief. If you are masculine, you can't turn on, turn off. You're still there. You just lessen it, but it's still, you know what I'm saying now? It's still there. So it's not like I'm feminine, I can turn it on and off. No. I'm a shy. I can turn it on and off. No. You're shy. You're shy. You can force yourself to talk, but you're still trembling inside. You're shy. So
I've never been accused of being shy or being a lady.
No, but I'm saying like that's not something you can turn on and off. So if you have a masculine energy, that's what your persona is. Now you can change over time, but it's not something you can, in my opinion, you can turn on and off. It's just who you are. You can dampen the field, like, oh, I can kind of suppress it a little bit, but it's still there. You know, your mannerisms, the way you speak, and you know, because. No, I mean, I'm not offended, and be you, but you know, you don't come off like, you know, very feminine, like, oh, hi, you know, just like, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, like, all right, what's up?
Yeah. He's the same way. We're both just kind of, you know.
And if that works for you, I mean, God bless, you know. Well, hey, do your thing.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. I just wonder, I see people who have that like masculine feminine dichotomy, or like lesbians. I've met so many who have this like butch and femme dichotomy, and
I've been working with lesbians at my job. Actually, I'm like, oh, there's Latina, she's pretty, lesbian. I'm like, damn, like literally, like 4 or 5 lesbians, all in different couples, and they're pretty. But I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, you know how many times I've been pursued by a very butch woman, and I'm just like, you don't want me, I will like run, like.
Well, a lot of masculine or masculine looking women, they like very feminine looking, because you look feminine, very feminine, pretty. So they like that. They want to conquer that, because they're doing the masculine thing. Like, I want to conquer that shit.
Because they're very masculine, and then they get to know me, and they're like, I don't like that. You mean you're like, you can fix your own car? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, well, then you don't need me. Same like with well, see, that's what
they're emulating. They're emulating masculine energy. They're emulating men traits, because what do men want? We want to feel needed, because like
you want to be
around.
needed.
Like, listen, and then women want to support. That's why they're nurturing. You guys are nurturing. So that's like, if I'm dating a girl and she doesn't need me, then what the hell am I around for? She can get a toy. I mean, I need to provide and protect her. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and I to some degree, like, I'm in a nurturing field. Same, you kind of are too. But it's also like, you know, you also have to be, you in particular have to be like taking no shit. You know, I'm in a nurturing field. I'm a massage therapist, but there's also that like strong boundaries situation, and just like.
Are you talking about creep old clients?
Well, there's that, and then just not taking on people's shit, like emotional shit. And you know, I studied to be a midwife for a time.
Oh wow! Yeah, how was that?
I was young, and I don't think I was in the space to like.
Does that pay well?
Handle well. It depends on what kind of position you take. If you're a nurse midwife, it pays well, because everybody wants to work with you. And if you're a CPM, a certified professional midwife, which is what I was doing, that program, you would work with a nurse midwife, and you get paid less, but you can work in birth centers, you can do home births. You're also a doula.
My ex co-worker, my ex co-host of the podcast, his wife wanted to do midwife stuff, and I guess she just never got her shit together and got it done, because he got her the book and everything, and she just never followed through. But I mean, you know, I was wondering about that.
It's hard work. The hours suck, and I mean, it's man, it's rough, because you're in this, it's amazing, and then you are with someone in the most intense moment of their life, intense time of their lives, and then
that's the most vulnerable. That's the most vulnerable thing in nature. I said that when we were talking. A pregnant woman is the most vulnerable thing in nature.
And they're also a force of nature. Yeah. It's also the most strong they'll ever be too. And
in that moment,
hold that space, and that is a real intense thing to do. And I was, at the time, I was young. I was like 23, 24, and I'm 36 now. I can handle it.
You're 36
now. Yes. Yeah.
Round of applause, everybody.
Thanks. What?
Good, girl. I thought you were like
moisturized.
I thought you were like I don't know, late 20s.
Thanks. I've been getting wrinkles from this whole pandemic. You know, wearing a mask.
No, you look young though. Good job, girl.
with your face and your upper face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm a socio.